Welcome to the podcast for photographers and wedding professionals who need a little break from the creative industry. So put your pen and notebook away and come hang out with your two besties, Cami Empey and Jade Jenkins. This is Slow Shutter.
All right, guys, there is so much to unpack here. We're actually filming this on a separate day because you guys, we were just mind blown by all that's going to happen.
Growing up,
yeah,
crying.
It is insane. So just so you guys know, there are 3 parts to this episode. There's a day 1, day 2, and day 3 of these guys' experience in Scotland, and we're unpacking it all. We just felt like we had to keep it all in. So you get 3 episodes
in 1 week.
In 1 week. So exciting. Just so you guys know, stick around for the next episode, which releases tomorrow.
Welcome back to Slow Shutter. We got some tea to spill today. We've got our favorite people here. And each of you is going to go around and introduce yourself. Just say your name, business name, where you're from, and maybe a fun fact. What's your favorite color?
Reese, let's start with you because you're kind of at the top of our screen. So it makes the most sense.
All right. Well, I'm Reese Oliver Photography in Detroit. And my favorite color is orange.
Ooh.
Perfect. Wow.
I like it.
What kind of orange?
All the orange.
Okay. So just every flavor of orange.
But I like the burnt orange as well because then you bring in the greens and the blues and the neutrals and yeah.
Yes,
I like
love it. All right, who's next? Just start reading them off. I can't see that far.
I can't see that far either. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I can go.
Okay, go.
Yeah. I'm Jay. I own Jay Tishka Photography. My favorite color is actually also burnt orange.
Yes.
Yeah, and I also really like myself a good blush pink.
Ooh, yeah.
And put them together.
Same.
Yeah, yeah.
Love it. Okay, who's next?
I'm Chanel. I'm Love is Magic Photography, and my favorite color is black.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, queen.
We're very familiar with her blackness.
Yep, it's a whole thing.
Wow.
Her whole wardrobe is black.
Wow.
I like it.
I love it. And last but not least,
I'm Azaria Shavira. My photography is Azaria Shavira Photography, very creative. And my color is blue. Ironically, David is wearing blue.
Oh, yeah, David.
Oh, yep. And David.
David, introduce yourself.
I'm David Johnson. Yes. My favorite color is green, not blue.
Nice.
Same.
Nice.
Yes, as our wall.
Okay, so as like a backstory, I was on the lovely app of Instagram and scrolling through, whose post was it that I saw? It was Jay's, right? Yep. I saw Jay's post about a recent encounter, incident. I don't know what we would call it, but they recently attended a retreat. And a lot of you might have seen this already on Facebook or Instagram. And we just kind of wanted to ask some questions, get a feel for like what happened. And so I think we start with Jay because it was her initial post about like, and I think we're going to go day by day how this retreat went, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Give us the
Jay,
deets.
do you want to start us off with like what like just kick us off with day 1? What was your impression? Whatever. Like let's just start off.
Tell us the experience.
Tell us your experience.
Okay, so day 1, I had met up with another photographer. We met in London. We were in London for a day. We flew into Edinburgh. I say it wrong every time. I was corrected multiple times. So in Edinburgh, said friend and I explored a little bit, and then we were like, oh, it's that time we have to go meet up for our bus.
Okay.
So we meet with one of the, I don't know, associates of host, and then a couple other photographers. We're all waiting at the bus stop. We go to get on the bus. The bus driver's like, whoa, no, where are you going? This is not the right bus. And we were like, oh, okay. And so then associate of host runs down to this other bus, and then she's running back and she's like, no, you're our bus. And he was like, I don't go here. Like, I don't go anywhere near there. And so we're all kind of looking at each other and we're like, okay. She was like, no, we're getting on the bus. We were like, okay, we're getting on the bus.
Is the host from here, or is she like from America and came over?
She's from Georgia.
Okay, so nice.
We would come to find out that this was her first time ever being in Scotland.
Nice. So she knew a lot from Google.
She made it seem like she knew it really well.
Let's rewind. How did each of you did you just find this on Instagram?
The workshop
itself?
On Facebook.
Okay. Facebook. Okay.
So she marketed on Facebook. All of you found it. How much were tickets?
I think she promoted them as 4,000. I paid 3,600.
Cool.
Okay. Did
I
all
paid
of you pay around that?
I paid 3,600 and I found her on her own Facebook group. So I didn't know
Yeah.
what I know now is that Facebook group that she does for other people put their style stuff on there and other photographers and models are on it. But it's really her group. So when
Oh,
all
okay.
this is
I'm
out,
actually part of that Facebook group. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've
Aren't
posted,
we all?
I've posted my
The
stuff on
drama.
there. Okay, okay.
Okay.
When you
So
control
there
it, you
were.
control the narrative.
yeah, you
Gotcha.
can delete people and comments and block them.
Yeah, when you're the
Yeah.
host of
Which is
the
exactly
party.
what has happened.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, so day one you get there. There weren't like clear instructions of like how to get to this place or like where to pick
Right.
up or.
So she promised, like once we got there, she promised a travel over to the hotel or Airbnb where we were staying. We
Okay.
were supposed to stay in Edinburgh. We stayed, it must have been, we said 45 minutes, but it must have been longer because my bus ride was 45 minutes. And once we got to our location, we sat at a bus stop for 3 hours. There were
Oh,
no
wow.
ride shares that would like Uber didn't go there. My friend's partner was in the US calling cabs for us,
Oh my God.
and they said it would be over 3 hours to get to us. Like we were in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And just had this like, remote
It's a
bus
small
station.
village an hour north of Edinburgh. So
In
it's
a country
literally,
that you don't
you would
live in.
fly into the airport and then go further out when you could just go 10 minutes into the city. So
Oh
from
my
what I
gosh.
understand, when she arranged travel, she told them all that it would be transportation from the airport to the accommodation,
Okay.
which should have been in Edinburgh. It originally said it would be in Edinburgh, but it wasn't. It was an hour away in a small village that closes by 8:30 p.m. So
What?
yeah,
And
so that was the big thing. And Jay's experience was not unique. Azaria can tell you that her group, it took them 6 hours to finally arrive. They're thinking that this is going to be a 10-minute bus ride to their Airbnb in Edinburgh. And instead, it was a 6 hour additional, like these people
For how
flew
long of a
16 hours
flight?
and then had another 6 to sit there waiting. Yeah, Azaria, tell your side.
My flight alone, I'm going from Sacramento to DC, 6 hour layover in DC, then a 7 hour flight, then getting there, getting through the customs and all that fun stuff, getting the bags, just to find out that you have to find another person because heavens forbid you actually just give the tickets to the person that it goes to, so that way you don't
Yeah.
have to find other people and take care of other people who've never been to this country and act like it's a different language even though it's not. Which is really annoying when you're like,
Yes.
I've been here before. Why are we going the opposite direction of Edinburgh? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. His first trip here, I've been there 2 other times. So this is my third trip. Like I know it's super simple. Just go to the damn city. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like 2 weeks to a week before, she's trying to say, oh, well, I don't want to pay the $950 for the transportation. So since you guys are all coming at different times and all this other stupid stuff, I'm going to give you bus tickets, but last minute. And I'm not going to
$950 each or like for
Oh,
the
$950 just to shuttle everybody.
Girly Pop you charge over $3 grand.
And you had more than 14 photographers, like 14 to like 2 of them were.
Oh my gosh, I'm doing the math.
There's 14
yeah.
photographers.
So
Okay.
pause for a minute. On March 19th, I found a post of her posting in local Scotland groups asking questions about how to book bus tickets.
No.
So again,
No.
now hold on again.
She doesn't know shit.
Back in July is when I bought 2 tickets. So I'm in at $7,200 for 2 tickets before anything else, flights, all of this.
Okay.
We were expecting shuttle buses or, transit vans, whatever it was. And like I said, about 2 weeks before we were supposed to land in country is when we found out that we would be getting bus tickets and that she grouped us all together by our arrival time. So my group was supposed to have another girl and her mom came as her plus one as the extra. And
Okay.
I did not know that they were traveling from Australia. So they came from Australia, were also in London, I think, for a couple of days, and then wound up being late to the airport to get on the bus with us. So they had suitcases almost as big as I am, and traveled all the way from Australia and wound up being stranded for 3 hours. My partner and I were stranded at a Starbucks for over 4 hours with no access to taxis. We could not get the Ubers to pick up. every time that we were messaging in the group, it's we'll be there soon, we'll be there soon. So, it took us from when we landed to when we got to the Airbnb over 7 hours
Oh my
my
gosh.
of sitting there.
Personally,
That's
like
just
that paying $950 just to relieve the stress of not only your attendees but yourself. Oh my gosh.
$56,000.
That's
We did the math.
Yeah, that's
we did the
insane.
We
math.
did the math. We were
Like
the thing-
$950 just to relieve the stress of like myself to get all my attendees there. Like that's totally worth it.
Yeah.
wait,
We agree with that, except that the Airbnb should have been in Edinburgh. So it should have just been maybe a 20-minute bus ride tops if that
Yeah.
was what it was going to be.
That makes
Don't
sense.
This shouldn't
advertise-
have happened in the first place because she advertised it as accommodations in Edinburgh and instead did a small village an hour outside of it.
So,
Probably to save
It
money.
shouldn't have happened. The rental didn't need to be a thing either. So
no.
Did
huge
you
issue.
do at the Airbnb that was booked? Is there a
No.
reason?
No,
the
because
Airbnb
that
was
would
booked?
make sense.
Yeah.
If you like picked an Airbnb for
It was
her
like
stuff,
aesthetically amazing and you
you need to
needed
do a
it.
shoot there and do whatever.
That's actually one of the worst things is that the Airbnb was beautiful.
Stunning.
It was absolutely beautiful. I thought we were actually going to shoot there, like the getting
Oh,
ready.
okay.
he mentioned
There
wanting
was
to
no
shoot there.
shooting there. Nobody shot a single photo there.
Huh.
It's worthless.
That's
Nice.
interesting.
And then not only that, but she you could easily, if you have 3, 4 other people working with you, you could get a rental car for
Mhm.
them. They could pick up people. If it's
Yeah.
a 40-minute drive, make your happy ass go back and forth and pick them up. Like
Or
it's
Right.
like pay like an assistant to come do it for you.
Yeah.
well, don't have like 2 other
Not
people that are
only
part
did
of
she
your
have an
business.
assistant host, she also had a
She had
content
2
creator there with her,
associates.
And she had her husband.
her husband and her mother there also. So she had a Sprinter van, and there were
Okay.
plenty of other people.
Oh,
that could
you guys
So-
paid for her
assist
family
her.
So
vacation.
yeah, everybody's
We
on
did.
vacation.
Nice.
We did. And we will tell you that we are not the first group of people to pay for her family vacation. And we'll
Nope.
get into that as well. But there was a
Nice.
retreat for us to Greece, and they have all told us the
The
same
same
thing,
thing.
that they
So-
paid
Same girl.
for a
So
family
day
vacation.
one, wrapped in a bow. Everybody's arriving at least 4 hours late to this Airbnb because the travel arrangements
Waiting
weren't
around.
made. Waiting
Mhm.
around.
No
It doesn't make
meet and
any
greets.
sense.
Okay.
No apology. No apology.
No
Attitude.
apology.
When we got into the car, I think it was close to 9 o'clock at that. Maybe we were there longer because it was like the hour drive. We sat
Okay.
there for, I don't know, it was late. It was super late. And we were all starving. And so we were like, can we get food? And she was like, well, I haven't eaten all day. And we were like, then we should all get food.
Okay.
Like, what is
For
the
sure.
problem? But she had an attitude problem about it.
Just hungry.
No apology for being several hours late. And then oh my God, on the way back, we stopped at a Five Guys. There was a Five Guys somewhere en route. She was literally holding the burger in her hand. And I don't shame people. Like, I don't like,
Yeah.
I'm an eating disorder therapist too. So I'm like, eat your food, girl, like whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
But she's driving on the like opposite side of the road than we're used to.
Oh,
Mhm.
There
no.
was one point we were in the back. I was in the back seat with my friend, and then another girl who ended up becoming part of our little cluster. And I literally was sinking my nails into her hand because there was a car I could have licked it.
Oh my gosh.
She was like eating her burger, like driving off the road. She almost killed us.
Oh.
And then she
Probably
went,
was texting. He
and
was
she
the same.
swerved. And I was
Oops.
like,
Acknowledged in the car with us. It was her first or second time driving in the UK on the opposite side of the road.
Oh,
And
Girly,
He
don't be
also-
eating.
Well, and the
meal.
cars are flip
a
flop too. It's
whole
weird.
meal.
when she pulled up to pick us up, it was load the stuff in the back. Don't mind the shit in my car. My kids were in there. So we open the door. We've got sticky stuff on the seats. We've got dirty socks on the floor,
Wait.
crumbs, books. I have photos of this
Her
stuff.
kids were there? Hey guys, are you loving the podcast and want to be part of our inner circle?
Welcome to the Slow Shutter VIP Lounge, your backstage pass to exclusive episodes, educational content, and monthly live Q&As where we hang out and answer any questions you have under the sun.
It's like the cool kids table, but for photographers and creatives who get it.
For just $12 a month, you get way more than just bonus content. You get the juicy conversations and education we don't give anywhere else.
And if you use the code VIP when you sign up, you'll get 15% off your first month. Click the link in the show notes and join us in the VIP lounge. We saved you a seat.
All 3 of
In the
them.
vehicle
Family
with us, but they were in
vacation.
the country. Yeah.
Oh my.
Family vacation
Wait,
with the
and
mom?
did they stay in the same Airbnb as you guys?
Oh, no, they
she
had
did
a
not stay in
castle.
this
They had a
Airbnb
castle.
either.
Oh, yeah.
This is getting
Totally
so
logical.
crazy.
And this
Okay.
is not even anything.
This
a
isn't even
fraction of it.
You're like,
Yeah,
we're just scratching the
have
surface here.
Okay, I'm just gonna finish mine on it though, because I had a different experience. Get off the 10:30 a.m. I need to be on the 12:10. Couldn't get the other girl that was with me there in time. She was there for 2 hours, but somehow she can't figure out what bus to go to.
Okay.
So then I'm figuring it out within 5 minutes. I get there, the bus leaves us within 1 minute of me getting there. Like it just leaves and she's so far behind. So then we wait another hour. We get on our bus and this guy heard me like say we're going and he's like, how the heck are you guys going there? This is a guy that's an American that's been living in Scotland, married a Scottish girl, been living there for I think 2018 and so he says, oh, well, like that doesn't make any sense. She's gonna have you guys just sitting on the side of the road because that one of those stops is literally just a drop off. It's not, there's not even a bench, there's not a marker, there's no nothing. You're just gonna be on the side of a highway, like out in the middle of nowhere in a country with no transportation, no nothing. And I'm thinking, oh, cool, awesome, this is great. This sounds amazing. And it sounds about like where we're going with this because of all of her messages just will be a screenshot of 2 spots to go to. And each one of these people went to another spot, and each one of them waited 3 to 6 hours to get picked up.
Oh my
and
gosh.
so it just doesn't make any sense. None of it made any sense at all.
No.
Don't advertise for Edinburgh and then take us somewhere away from Edinburgh and then bring us back the next day to Edinburgh and act like that's normal. And so to the Airbnb, only ones that got to the Airbnb at the time she wanted me there by. She told me I had to be there at 3. I got there by 3, but I only got there because that Scottish guy offered to give me and my husband a ride there.
Yeah.
So I asked the other girl if she wanted to like me to stay with her to get her there, or if she needed help, or if she wanted just going to take the next stop, and or if she wanted me to stay with her and David could go with our bags and I'll just hang out with her. And she said, no, you can go. Does she say that now? No.
Yeah.
But I got there.
Me as an independent girly, same.
Like, okay, I'm okay.
She was there with her husband. And so we got to the Airbnb, and then I find out that the Airbnb guy doesn't even understand how she's doing any of this because apparently she emails him like a couple weeks before we were getting there saying that we have 20 people. And he goes, no, 14. 14 can stay in this property. And she goes, no, it's 20. So she tries to gaslight him.
She's gaslighting the owner?
Yes. She tells him, no, you told me 20. He's like, I've had this property for 20 years. It's 14 people. Like, it's not changing. I can't increase more. So then he gives up his space for Jay and I and David to be able to sleep at the place.
Literally in his bed.
In his bed. I'm literally in the poor guy's bed. He has to go rent a place in Village so that way we can stay there.
So wait, there weren't enough beds in the Airbnb at all. So like, it's not it could potentially fit 20 people. It really only fit 14.
It only
and
fits
this
14.
is not including the fact that the models and another couple had their own Airbnbs as well on top of Sarah with her family and her associates and whoever.
Yeah,
So
why was she giving up her castle Airbnb for
her whole excuse was that we all could stay in this one. We couldn't. And then the week before we get there, she tries to get me and David to go to another Airbnb. And I was like, fine, whatever, I don't care. Well, that couple that was with us, they're the ones that go to that Airbnb. So later she uses it against me and says, well, I had to upgrade them because you left her. I was like, you already gave her that before she left the country. So
what is happening? Okay.
Oh gosh, she's a professional gaslighter.
We are off on the wrong foot for Shurzy. If we're off on a foot.
And
like
the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, wrong side of the road, wrong foot.
We're going ass backwards.
Hamburger in hand, about to crash into a car.
So everybody was super hungry because we all got in so late that night because she left everybody just waiting for hours and hours. While we were at the Airbnb talking to the owner of the Airbnb, he told us that it's not unusual for people that get in late to ask him to just cook dinner for them. He cooked dinner for everybody.
He's a chef.
But she literally had no communication with him. The first time he had ever heard her voice and talked to her was when she showed up for 2 seconds and dropped
with my group. With my group.
With Reese's group. So their very first interaction talking to each other was you.
She literally only would interact with him via email and would not talk to him.
But you're bringing this many people from out of country? My gosh.
20. She would not answer.
He tried to call her. She would not answer.
Oh my gosh. This
And
guy's
mind
probably like,
you,
this
this
is
Well,
not
is
gonna
maybe
go
like a
well.
little old guy.
Also, she was
Okay.
also in the country 2 weeks before.
So what the
Well, to be fair, if I used people's money to go on my family vacation, I wouldn't answer my phone either.
True.
Thanks, Jay. Yeah,
I have 3 kids
like,
also, and
give
I
her
would
some
never take
grace.
them on a work trip like that.
give them some grace. If I made people pay $56,000,
so all in
bitch,
all,
I'm
the first
ghosting
day,
you.
we all got in at completely different times. There was no meet and greet. There was no formal sit down dinner. There was no, hey, this is who's here.
Yeah.
These are your rooms. It was basically a free for all. You
Oh.
go find an empty room. You find an empty room. Great,
Everybody's
that's
dressed
yours.
But the
It's just
advertisements
chaos.
made it kind of seem like it would be different. Like it's not going to be.
Well,
Yeah.
it was going to be in a whole different county,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a whole
Different area.
different.
So
But also, can I just, a little fun fact, Kate and I, we were traveling together, sorry to name drop you, Kate, thought that David actually worked
mean,
for the Airbnb because he was so gentlemanly and like brought in our suitcases and showed us our rooms.
Oh.
I thought he was staff.
She didn't help
That's so-
anybody.
To acknowledge that.
We counted out the rooms. I was the one messaging her going, what room goes to what person? Oh, I don't know. Just put somebody in something. And I'm just like,
Oh.
Yeah, I was literally
And
trying
these
to
are
make sure that
double
people
beds,
ended up
like
in the
twin
correct
size
room.
beds in rooms. Some of them are, and then your larger bed is like a queen size.
Okay.
So you had to go up 3 levels. Again, no elevator, we all had suitcases, trying to see what room is open and what room is available and what the bed situations look like to try to find where you were going to sleep.
well, before
Oh.
that even happened, we were there for 3 hours just sitting there because she kept saying every 15 minutes, I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Oh, where was she?
Way.
she
Just
was
on
avoiding,
vacation?
she was avoiding the bed situation is what she
like
was doing.
sightseeing. I'm on my
I
way.
just want to
No,
make sure
no,
these
don't
guys-
worry. She was in Glasgow, which is across the country. Because that makes sense.
Oh.
She
Yeah,
said that she
like
was
hours
putting
away.
up models and dresses. And then when I had approached her, I'll go get to this later on, but when I had brought up like how unacceptable the first day was, it was, well, I had errands to run and things to do. And I was like, but you were in town before then. So like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you have got any of this stuff and had it at the Airbnb or at least in your own possession? Because you knew that you had to pick everybody up.
Right. And you're not shooting day one at all, right? This
No.
is, everybody's arriving. Well,
Just
thank
get-
goodness.
well, yeah, all of you would have missed the first day's shoot.
Yeah, you would have missed a shoot.
Well, we wouldn't have because we would have left the airport and gone to Edinburgh like a normal person would.
Yeah.
That's what we did. We walked around and like got lunch and kept ourselves busy. And we were like, oh, we wish we had more time downtown now that we have to take this like bus or whatever. Like we could have been there for hours, like enjoying our day, having dinner, like
Yeah.
exploring, doing these things.
Yeah.
But instead, she's like, you have to be there at these buses at these times, like whatever. And so we're doing what she's telling us to do. And it was a shit show.
That's
Yeah, for
ridiculous.
Oh, and let me caveat real quick before
Yeah.
I know you guys want to get on. So my experience with the bus situation, and I still have my little burn on my hand right here.
Oh no.
So the 2 that were coming in from Australia did not make it to our bus, right? So when we went to get on the bus, I had a QR code that was sent to me. And the bus driver looks at me like, what is this? And I'm like, well, don't you have anything to scan it? And he said, no. He goes, I don't know what this is. I don't have anything to scan it. Okay, so how do we get on this bus? Because this ticket was bought for us. So we got off the bus, tried to download the app, couldn't download the app because we don't have an international phone number. So then she tried to email it to me. That wouldn't work. So I had to buy bus tickets. So again, we were told transportation was going to be provided.
was covered.
I'm turning around paying cash in person to the bus driver to make sure that we can get on this bus because I had the understanding and the notion that she was going to be waiting for us once we got or would be to our bus stop shortly thereafter once we got to where we needed to be.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, on top of the chaos, coming out of the pocket on our own to pay for a bus ticket to make sure that we can go where we
And I'm
need to be.
assuming she didn't shoot you a little Venmo after.
Absolutely not.
Oh god.
When we were waiting to see, like we were still trying to get an Uber or like a cab or something before we realized, that was just not going to happen.
Yeah.
We had asked her, I don't know, assistant, associate, colleague, whatever she is. We were like, can you see if she'll reimburse us from this? And she was like, oh no, she said she can't. She's already spent the whole budget, which I was like, okay, fine. Like I'm desperate enough. I'll pay whatever. Like I wasn't worried about $40. I just flew across the country. I was tired.
Right.
And so, yeah, no, she wasn't even willing to reimburse $40.
That's
How do
crazy.
you bring people from another country, make them wait hours, tell them that they need to be at Airbnb by 3 p.m. But then also don't introduce yourself. Don't introduce the people that are working with you, because I had no
Yeah.
clue for the entire time, who was actually working with her and who was just a friend that got like a free ticket or something. Like, I have no clue. And then on top of that, don't introduce any of the other photographers, because I mean, we should just stay in this chaos state, right? Like, it
Yeah.
makes more sense to do that.
The busier
Well,
they are,
if
the
you're
better.
if you're living in chaos, you're weak.
Yeah.
If you're
You're
asking
weaker, you won't
questions,
fight her. She's like hypnotized. You're having fun. This is great.
You spend
it's
all this
almost
money
like
and you're
I need
happy
you
about
to
it.
be as chaotic as possible, so that way you won't question what I'm doing to you.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
exactly.
saying.
What it felt like.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the fact that you don't apologize to not one person that you made wait for hours.
Yeah,
For
that's crazy.
hours.
That's insane.
And
That's next level for sure.
not only that, it's
Well,
like
to be fair, the same thing, the models had the same experience.
The
We
models did
Oh,
had-
too.
that breaks my heart.
The models came forward and told us that one of them, like, luckily they had been here before, so they decided to rent a car and travel themselves around, but no one else had. And so they told us that the same thing happened to the models. They were told to meet at a certain place, and it took her hours to come and finally pick them up. But they were picked up before all of you guys. So they were picked up around probably 5-ish, and then you guys weren't picked up till 7.
Oh my
Because
god.
But also, let's add in that those models were also the transport for other people and other models,
Yeah,
which
they
was
did.
never agreed upon. It was just assumed that because they had a car,
Oh,
this host thought that it was acceptable
Yeah.
to just put liability on
She
On the
asked them
models?
to just travel around, like to take the models around and do stuff for them.
and the models
And
are also flying from out of country. That's what it sounds like.
yeah, she brought in
Majority
half
of
of the
them.
models were American models that she
Oh my
flew
gosh.
in, paid for their flights and for their accommodation.
I would say more than
Did
half.
she pay them for their time or just accommodation and flight?
There was a stipend.
There was a
And
stipend.
I would like to clarify, the models were absolutely wonderful. Had nothing
They
to do
were.
with this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
all enjoyed them. However, like if you're on this tight of a budget because your family vacation has cut so significantly into budget, then wouldn't you look for local models? Like, wouldn't it be also like it's nice to get fresh faces in our feeds. It's nice
Yeah.
to get like, you kind of see the same models. Like once you follow somebody, you're seeing them
Yeah.
circulate all the time. And it's not that they're not putting out beautiful work. It's not that they're, but like
They're amazing. Yeah.
we're in Scotland.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
happening?
Right.
I'm sure there's
a
models.
beautiful couple in Scotland.
Yes.
Right.
that
There's
would
a lot
love
of them. Yes.
free pictures or to work for
Yeah.
money.
Not
She
only
did
that,
the same thing in Greece. She flew people in from Florida. I was just on the phone with a couple of people and heard that they were expecting, I'm Greek, right? The dark complexion, the features, that type of vibe.
Okay.
And they were graced with more people from Florida, which kind of don't fit like the Mediterranean aesthetic. Like, there's nothing wrong with their looks; they're fine. But when you think Greece, islands, like you just have a different vibe, I guess. And
Yeah.
nope, she did the same thing on that retreat as well.
That's such a
Well,
good
and
point.
like, how inclusive is she? Like, are all the
oh
models
my God.
straight couples? I assume.
There was one, I mean,
We
like
had a mixed race couple.
The only couple
there
nice.
was one.
the only couple that I have already shot. Like I already personally know them. They're the
Oh,
only ones there. So when we went to shoot, he literally asked David to go get me because he was uncomfortable with how she was treating. They were getting treated by them.
But
Okay.
I'm also pretty sure that she brought couples from America too, because she doesn't know how to make relationships and find them. Because literally on her next retreat going to Mexico, she has already booked multiple of these same exact couples
oh,
on them.
okay.
that-
Interesting.
So she knows.
Yeah.
She's like, I know I've
And
already
also,
manipulated.
no same-sex couples at all.
None.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of did my research. There was none.
Yeah.
I am a big proponent of larger bodied models too, like just different body types in general.
I
And
agree.
it was none of that. And I'm not, again, not that anybody who was there wasn't beautiful. They were all beautiful. They were all wonderful to work with, but I like myself some diversity, body, sexuality,
Yeah.
ethnicity.
Because you don't want your
whatever it may
page to
be.
look exactly the same, especially like when you're going that far out of country. You don't want it to look, same type of couple,
Right.
same dress, same.
Yeah.
But we run into the problem, like just in Idaho in general, there's not a lot of diversity. So when we go somewhere, we want our
Yeah.
workshops and
Yeah.
our style shoots to have more diverse
Yes,
couples
for sure.
because we
Yeah.
don't get that opportunity as much here. Okay, that was a lot. Day one, there was so much to unpack, and day two, there's even more to unpack.
Yeah.
Like if you thought For real. If you thought that was crazy, just wait. Just wait. It gets better. Episode 2 comes out tomorrow. So stay tuned. Keep a lookout.
Our brains hurt.
Thanks for listening to the Slow Shutter Podcast with Cami Empey and Jade Jenkins.